Hello, amiibros. This is Jason of Game & Shocks, and welcome to my 50-second haul video, going further and further than I've ever gone before, all for some nice pieces of paper. So for this haul video, since it's been a while since the last one, quite a few things have happened over the last few months. Among those being that I traveled further up into Maine to scour all of the bull mooses that were up there on a trip that I took with some family. And I also went to PAX East last March, so that was fun. And I also got a few things from there as well. This is basically just going to be a gigantic video, a big boy haul video, as I'm going to call it. So sit back, relax, get some popcorn, because one, it's the summertime, so big movies are going to start releasing, and two, popcorn's good, man, just have some. So yeah, looking forward to this, so this should be fun. And before we get to all the games, of course I got my magazines that I want to show. This one's a little dusty. So I got two Walmart Game Center magazines. This one is for DC Justice League Cosmic Chaos, issue 92 for February-March 2023. Not sure why that's on the front cover, but I just found it amusing. And then this one is issue 93 for April and May 2023, starring one of the punching bags for this year for bad games is Redfall. Which I guess now, if there's one for June, is probably next going to be the Lord of the Rings Gollum, excuse me. And it also has a Super Mario Bros. Movie on top right there. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right there. But yeah, and I also got a Game Informer digitally for once. So that was nice. But yeah, let's begin. So now, let's start. Okay, so beginning with my first stack of 5, we're going to start with my stack from Core Gaming first. And rather than starting with a game first, I'm actually going to start with some Skylanders that I got. So, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but Core Gaming has these bins full of Skylanders and Disney Infinity figures, and they sell them for $3.99 each, but it's buy 2, get 1 free. So I took advantage of that, of getting figures that I don't have for my collection, because I have a big Skylanders collection, but I still cannot access every area in all of the games. So this is what I did. So for Spyro's Adventure, I got this level. I forget what it's called, but it's for Spyro's Adventure. You can tell by the green base. And it's the only one I didn't have for Spyro's Adventure, so like that was my way of like finally being able to access every part of that game. And then I got 2 Swap Force figures that I don't have. So I have this one, Rattleshake, who has the bounce ability, and you can just pretend that he dances. And that's all she wrote. Who's she? I don't know, you tell me. And then the other one I got is Trap Shadow, who has the stealth ability. So that's why I got him. But I mean, well, not usually, you really just need the leg parts. But it was just nice to actually have both parts of both of those figures, because like when I was looking for Swap Force characters, like even in the last haul video, like I got like 2 parts of 2 different Skylanders that didn't really fit, but I'm glad that was the opposite case for those 2. Alright, and now for an actual game, I'm going to start this with a Nintendo 64 game. Now I know what you're thinking, Jason, you don't have a Nintendo 64, right? You are correct. But the thing is, I tried to get a Nintendo 64 online, but it got lost in transit. But that's a story for another day. So let's pretend that I did get a Nintendo 64, and this would have been probably the first game that I would have played on it, and that is Tetrasphere. I got this because I knew that I've heard it was a good game, and just like looking at like the label and such, like I just like the artwork of like this ball guy and all the blocks in the background. It just looks like a fun game. And even the guy who's at the store who was like ringing this game up for me, he told me that he was like a big fan of the game's music. Like he's a fan of the Nintendo 64 and like the music of the 64. So obviously he likes like Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. Like the Nintendo 64 is his console. So I was like, ooh, like tell me more, because I didn't know about Tetrasphere's music. So it was like, I was very intrigued by what he was saying. But yeah, next game is a GameCube game, which is kind of surprising that I'm even finding GameCube games at all. But this next one is Frogger's Adventures: The Rescue. Now I swear I'm not going to be getting all the Frogger games for the GameCube. It's just some weird coincidence that's been happening, and I do have another GameCube game to prove that I don't just get all the Frogger games for GameCube. So this one is actually not too bad. It's just like Frogger Beyond, but kind of looks more similar to like the arcade game, not the arcade game, the PlayStation game and its sequel. But it's not bad. These Frogger games are actually not bad, to be honest. Like the ones that were released after the PlayStation 1, they're not bad. Like they're decent games, like that replicate the original, and it's complete with a nice green and orange disc to go with it. So that's a nice touch. All right, next I got two PlayStation 2 games, one of which I got for a little less than the price sticker, we'll say. So the first PS2 game I got is one I've been looking for a while, and that is the original Time Splitters. Yeah, $20. So yeah, I finally have all the Time Splitters games, and this was the last one that I needed. And I was not disappointed. This game is pretty good. I don't know if I'd say it's better than like, well, hold on, let me rephrase that. I think maybe Time Splitters 2 and Future Perfect are better than the original, but this game is cool. That, like, look at this, the fastest first-person shooter ever created for a gaming console. Maybe back in the year 2000, definitely, because this was a launch title for the PS2, and it's complete as well, which also sweetens the deal. I've heard these games, well, like these games have like a lot of like personality to them, so that's cool. And then the other PlayStation 2 game, yeah, game I got is Beautiful Joe, the original. It says $30 right there, but I traded some games in to Core Gaming, so I got it for, like, I want to say $20, because the amount I got was like, I want to say $10 in store credit, so I used it on Beautiful Joe. Major cult classic right here. Hit you to go, baby. Life is beautiful. That's how you know this is good. When like, this game is so powerful. It's doing something with my speech patterns. But yeah, this is such a fun game. It's just such a cool game. Like Capcom, like when Capcom does like these kind of games or just like goes like just crazy, like they know how to make good stuff, man. Like that's why Capcom has always been like one of the best. All right, next one's I have 2 Wii games, but I'm gonna save those for last. I got 3 Xbox games next that I want to show you. The first one, it doesn't have a price sticker on it, but I believe it rang up as $5, and that's Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Don't really know anything about this game other than it exists for the original Xbox, and it looks like some kind of first-person shooter. Excuse me, it looks kind of fun, but I don't really know much about it other than it's in really good shape, and it's complete as well. I don't know why I was trying to go for the spindle. It's like, ooh, can I see the underside of the disc? I mean, it's just a disc. What else do you need to know? Next one for the original Xbox is Myst 3 Exile, a classic point-and-click puzzle game that I do not know how to play. I just have it for my original Xbox collection. But I know Myst is a popular like point-and-click game series on PC. And I know Myst 4 is also on PC as well. I'm sure the game actually is good, it's just I don't know how to play it, since I'm not well-versed in point-and-click games. And it's complete, but some poor soul had to abuse the case and crack it. Poor thing. Don't worry, game. I'll save you and replace the case for you. With no strings attached. And then the last original Xbox game that I got from Core Gaming is, I believe this was an exclusive for the original Xbox in terms of like consoles. I don't know if this is on PC or not, but that game is Advent Rising. Play and win $1 million. Holy shit. But yeah, I want to know about this game because I don't know much about it. This game was like a big and ambitious title for the original Xbox. I haven't played it yet, but if they have like a contest that was about like like getting $1 million. It's like, that's how you know, like, they had some big bucks going for this. It's complete, and it looks cool. I just don't really know what to make of it, having not played it yet. And now we can get to the Wii games. So the first one I became aware of after looking at some like underrated Wii games lists, because the Wii has a lot of games, but a lot of them aren't good. So I had to find like the underrated gems in the big Wii library, and I got Elebits. From what I know about this game is like if you gave a kid the gravity gun from Half-Life 2, and you just let him just go mad with the gravity gun. And just by that concept, I was like, I'm sold. Give me this game. And it was $10 too. It's like, that's a really good price. And it's by Konami, back when they were in their prime, or back when people used to like Konami. And it's complete to boot. I'm sorry I keep putting the games like this. Like the way I have this set up isn't really that ideal to like look at the camera, so forgive me on that end. And then the last game that I got from Core Gaming is this one I used my trading credit for, or not trading credit, I used my store credit that I've been like building up for a bit. So you see the price and like, wow, that's a good one. Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Now I know this recently got ported to Switch a few months ago, but I was like, nah, I want to get the Wii version. I want to get like all the main like releases for the Wii, like both the big and like the underrated stuff as well. And I've always heard this is like among one of the best games on the Wii. So yeah, I've always heard like this is also among the best Kirby games as well, and it's complete too. And I'm also surprised at how thin the manual is. Like, considering that like Nintendo manuals from the Wii are like big, like gigantic because of all the languages. I'm surprised that one's so small. And usually Kirby is so big. But I'll leave that to your own discretion. All right, so next we're gonna go to my stacks from Bull Moose. So I have 3 different stacks from there. The first one involves movies that I got on my Bull Moose trip to Maine. So I believe a few months back, me and some family came up with this idea of like, we haven't been to every Bull Moose yet, but there's a lot of them in Maine. So we were like, let's do a trip, like a 3-day trip where we just like go to all of them and try to get like as much good stuff as we can and judge all of them as we go. So I have a stack of movies from all the Bull Mooses that we went to, for movies and for games. So I'm gonna start with the movies first, just so it's not like repetitive, but just all games. It'll be movies, then games, and then games again in the third pile, and then the other half of the third pile is movies. So beginning with my movie pile from my trip to all the Bull Mooses in Maine, we're gonna start with the movies that are on Blu-ray. The first one is Kung Fu Panda 2, which includes Secrets of the Masters and Kung Fu Panda World. Probably a game, likely a game that doesn't exist anymore. I wonder if it was like an MMO, judging by like the bottom. But regardless, Kung Fu Panda 2 is a great movie. I remember seeing this in theaters, like way back in 2011 when it released. Like, I even remember seeing advertisements for it. Like, it was a big deal at the time, because Kung Fu Panda was like as a kid, I had like a burned DVD of it at my grandparents' house, and like I just remember having so much, seeing it so many times, and there being a sequel to it at the time. I was like, whoa, man! And this is such a great movie. I'm always deciding which one's better, the first one or the second one. I'm still deciding to this day. Next one. Oh, by the way, these are all by price. So this next one is $6.97, and this is one of the many movies that I have that won the Oscar for Best Picture, and this one won in 2011. And that film is The Artist. Now, if you don't know what this movie is a silent film. Yeah, I know, a silent film released in 2011. Hey, look, there's my hand. It's a silent film released in 2011. and it won the Oscar for Best Picture, because I'm going to do this big Best Picture project where I watch every movie that won Best Picture and was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. And I like this release too. Like, it has like this like, you can open this sleeve up, and it has a dog and lead stars in it, and I've just heard it's a, it won Best Picture. I haven't seen the movie yet, but very much looking forward to, because I love silent films. Like, of the silent films that I have seen, I've liked all of them so far. So I'm sure this one will also be no exception to the norm. So we'll see when I finally see it. And just look how shiny that is. That is so shiny. Insert Tamatoa here. All right, next one. This one I got for $8.97, and that movie is Bridge of Spies, starring my favorite actor, Tom Hanks. So I haven't seen this movie yet. The only thing I know about it is that it's set during the Cold War. It's like set with this exchange between the U.S. and Soviet Union, and it involves Tom Hanks as this lawyer. That's pretty much all I know about it. And it did win an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, and it was nominated for Best Picture, so that's also why I own it. Let's get in here. So yeah, this is the Blu-ray, and some of these Blu-rays don't have DVDs on them, so that's a little weird. Maybe because this is about red versus blue, before red versus blue was a thing. Like, this is a red background, but then there's blue up there. It's symbolism! And then the last Blu-ray that I got during my Bull Moose trip is one of my favorite movies from 2021, and that is Licorice Pizza. Weird title, I know, but I really like this movie. I remember going to see this in theaters, and having and it was just like a fun vibe watching this. It's basically like it's a romance film, and it's kind of a weird romance, but like, they do acknowledge how weird the romance is in the film. You've come a long way, baby. Yeah, I know. Boobs. But aside from that, I just thought it was just a nice little film. And it's got the Blu-ray, and it even has some background art, and a poster. I think this is just the title, Licorice Pizza, that's like confuddling everyone. It's like, what? Because there is no licorice, nor is there a pizza in the movie. So the title may be a lie, but the movie is good. And it was also nominated for Best Picture, so that's also why I have it. Alright, now we go to my 4Ks. I got a lot of movies on 4K. Beginning with the first one. This one I got for $2. You're not going to believe it until I show you it. And that is the original classic Lion King. For $2 on 4K. The reason for that is because it's just the 4K disc in here. But who cares if it has the Blu-ray? Like, I got this for $2. Like such an iconic film. Like, do I even need to say anything? It's the Lion King. I don't need to say anything about this. This movie is an absolute monumental classic. Like from the songs to the animation to its scope, like everything about the Lion King is a masterpiece. And also, that remake can go f*** itself, because I hated it. Next one I got for $9.97. Still a good deal for, this is also a Disney film. It's also a Pixar film, and that is Toy Story 4. This is the Target limited edition, I believe. So this is like a cool release. Like, you got Woody and Buzz on the back. Sorry if I bumped the camera. There's a little bit of damage right here, but other than that, it's in good shape. Like, there's Woody there, and there's Forky. I quite like Toy Story 4. I even saw it twice in theaters. Like, is it the best Toy Story film? No. Like, I think it is flawed a little bit, but I don't think it's definitely not among Pixar's weakest films. Like, I quite like it. And I like this release too. And also, casting Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom. Whoever casted Keanu Reeves, you deserve a raise. And then here's all the discs, and then in here is the Movies Anywhere code, which I'm not going to show you for obvious reasons. And then there's a book in the back. It's a neat release. Like, I also have a release like this for Star Wars, Rise of Skywalker, I believe. And this one's no different. It's cool, and again, for $10 too. Like, if you find 4Ks that are like $10, go for it. Especially if it's like Pixar films. Next one is a MCU film that I got for a great price, $13.97. If there's any prices that I swear by at Bull Moose, it's $6.97 and $13.97. Especially if it's like movies like this that are like impossible to find with their slipcovers. And that movie is Thor Ragnarok, one of my favorite movies of the MCU. Just absolutely love this film. This is honestly like among one of my favorite movies in the MCU. Like, and it's like even more sad because I was not a fan of Thor: Love and Thunder. So it kind of makes me think that Thor just doesn't really work by himself with the MCU, which I don't know, it's weird. but besides that, yeah, I got the slipcover. This slipcover is like hard to find. At least like I remember hearing it was hard to find, and to be fair, I couldn't really find it like that many times on this trip. So that's why. So there's the 4K disc, and then there's the Blu-ray right there. Yeah, just an awesome movie. It's not even me that's doing that. Yeah, just awesome movie. Alright, next one. This is also for $13.97, which is again another movie that I couldn't find the slipcover for. I do recall seeing this movie a bunch of times, like at the Bull Mooses we were going to, but the ones I kept finding were a little higher than this price and didn't have the slipcover, which I found odd. But that movie is Dunkirk, another movie that I love to pieces. So yeah, this one has a slipcover and it's a really nice shape too. Yeah, it's something scraping on the back, but this movie was so good. It's just such a great war film. It's like of the war films that have released the last decade, like in the 2010s. I would say this one and 1917 are like the best war films that we've gotten lately. And then for this decade, like so far, it's the new All Quiet on the Western Front that's on Netflix. But yeah, I just like the way this movie was like, the way that Christopher Nolan tackled this film. Like, it's not even about like the characters really. It's all about like the war and like the different aspects of the war, like on land, on sea, and in the sky. It's just such a cool and you just like it's just such a cool like idea, and like you have to like put all these stories together. I really like that approach to like for a war film. And it has all the discs. There's one behind the 4K disc with the special features. And yeah, just go see this film. This movie's awesome. And I can't wait for Nolan's next film, Oppenheimer, to go with the double feature of that and the Barbie movie. So that's gonna be fun. Next one. This one I got for $16.97, but and it's another Pixar film. This one is among my favorite Pixar films lately, and it's one of like the best ones that's been like of their newest films. That is Soul. Now I know you can stream this on Disney Plus right now, but I was like, I want to get a Pixar film that's like current, and this was like of the newest ones. This is like probably my favorite one. This one touches the soul, man. Like this one was awesome. It was so good, and like it's so like, and I love the theme of like how like, you know, like deciding what you want to do with your life. It's just like and this one like I said, touches the soul and what makes you feel for the soul. Yeah, you're not getting movies anywhere code this time. But there's the 4K disc. There's also a disc behind there. Yeah, it has Moon something. I forget his name. And then there's the Blu-ray disc and something for movies anywhere. But yeah, really good movie. If you haven't seen Soul, then go see it. Go have your soul touched by a movie that is so soulful that it's gonna make your soul cry. And my last movie in my Bull Moose trip movie pile is a movie that I already have on Blu-ray that I got for Christmas. But I saw this slipcover, this like only a Walmart slipcover, and I was like, I need to have this. I've been looking for this for a while. And that movie is Spider-Man No Way Home. Personally, I think this slipcover better defines Spider-Man No Way Home than the current Blu-ray release of it, and the standard slipcover, which is this artwork. Doesn't even compare to this. And this slipcover is like kind of starting to get hard to find in some areas. Like it's starting to like go up in price a little bit. So, and because I love Spider-Man No Way Home so much, I was like, I had to double dip and get this. Like I couldn't, like it was right there. It's like, I'm probably not going to find this again for a while. I need it. And I got it. So yeah, like as I said, whenever I got No Way Home and for whatever haul video, this is my favorite MCU film, as well as my favorite movie from 2021. I absolutely like adore this film. Like I went to go see it twice. That's how much I loved it. And there's Doc Ock just telling you, the viewer, to watch it, because I mean this movie did insanely well at the box office. So I'm sure you have seen it by now. But if you haven't, then what are you doing? Go see Spider-Man No Way Home. Now we can get to the games. In case any of you were wondering, like, Jason, just get to some games already. Now I'm going to. So I'm gonna go just like with I think the core gaming one. I'm gonna go with by the console and how many games I have for that console. So first is my only DS game that I got on my Bull Moose trip. It's a game I already have, but it's Super Mario 64 DS. Like I said, it's a game I already have, but I don't have it with a case or with the manual. So I dipped and got this. So now I can sell my other copy of Mario 64 DS and keep this one. And yeah, like I said, it's complete. I never realized that the manual is supposed to be sideways. That's a little weird, but you know, it's nice, weird, and quirky, and I like that. And I like this game too. Next one, I got 2 PlayStation 1 games. This one should be first. What's that one doing above there? Get down there. First up of 2 PlayStation 1 games that I got is the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and I just hit the and I just bailed my arm onto the camera like a professional, just like a pro skater. So yeah, this game is a classic. It's one of like the few Tony Hawk games that I don't have in my collection. So like I was like, I think this was also at the first Bull Moose that we went to on this trip. So that was a fun surprise getting this. And it's also complete as well, just judging by the manual as the artwork. Remember that when that was a thing? The case is cracked, as you can see. There's a bunch of like cracks on the front of the case, so that's kind of disappointing, but it's all right. I can replace it later on. Next, the other PlayStation 1 game I got is a game called Ballistic. If you've never heard of this game, it's basically the game Zuma before Zuma. Like, it's one of those like puzzle games where like you play as like a thing in the middle of like this like spiral, and you shoot balls of different colors to prevent the balls from going into this hole in the center. So yeah, it's exactly like Zuma. I wouldn't say I don't know if I'd say it's like as good as Zuma, but it's still fun. It's in its own right. And yeah, like I think any game that's like Zuma, really, unless it like runs like trash, I would say is good if you ask me. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you hear anything in the background, there's a lot of frogs in a pond that's nearby my house. So you might hear some frogs in the background and be like, "Ah." It's Kermit the Frog's family reaching out to us. Alright, next is 2 Xbox 360 games. The first one I got was super cheap. I got it for $4.97, and that is Crysis 3. Now I already have Crysis 2, and I just needed 3, and there we go. You can call it Thrysis. Get it? I hope you did. So I haven't played this yet. I haven't even played Crysis 2 either, but I just knew it was like super cheap, and I was like, ooh, I want that. And technically it's complete. There was no manual. I don't think a manual exists for this game, so that's a little disappointing, but I can live with that. The next one is the other 360 game I got is Tony Hawk's Proving Ground, which, speaking of Tony Hawk, another one of the ones I don't have yet, and now I finally have it, with some Guitar Hero 3 songs on the disc. So this one was is not bad. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Tony Hawk film. This is not a documentary, no. It's a I think the Nail the Trick thing is cool. I like the new things that they add into Proving Ground. I think I just prefer like the simplicity of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 and 3, well, especially 3. But it's a good game. Most of the Tony Hawk games, especially during this era, were good, and it's complete too. And again, I almost said Snicks, $6.97. So that's how you know it's a winner. All right, next I got 2 PlayStation 2 games. The first one I got is Taurus Trophy. Now this is the only game in this haul video that unfortunately doesn't work. I tried it in my PS2 a bunch of times. Like, I don't know if you could see on the disc, but there's like a ring, like almost like part of a circle. Like, so like that might be the reason why it doesn't work in my PS2. Which is a shame, because I wanted to try it. It looks kind of fun. It's the same developers as Gran Turismo, so I would think like, maybe they could do a bike game? Well, I guess I can't try right now since it doesn't work, but oh well. There's always going to be at least one dud. And then the other PS2 game I have from this pile. At first I was scared because it wasn't working in my PS2, but then I tried it a few more times and it started working from there. And thank God for that, because that game is Metal Arms, Glitch in the System. Now this is a really fun, underrated game. You play as this robot named Glitch, and you have a lot of weapons to pick from. It's basically like a Ratchet and Clank game with robots, with even more robots than there are in Ratchet and Clank. So you can pretend that that Glitch, who's you could say is Clank, got super pissed off and is taking refuge in these mines with some of his fellow robots, and now they're trying to fight back. Yeah, and it's complete too, so that makes it doubly sweet. And you know how it's a game from that time when it censors swearing, and it also kind of has like that Ratchet and Clank sort of edge and like kind of funky attitude. It's like Ratchet and Clank. Next, I got some Wii games. The first Wii game, this and the next one I got for $11.97. And that game is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. I mostly got this one because of the price, $11.97. I mean, how can you beat that? That could be like the third best price for a game from Bull Mooses. Either $6.97, $13.97, or $11.97. Those are like the three that I come across. Or maybe $5.97. It's one of those two. But it's another Final Fantasy game to add to my little collection of Final Fantasy stuff. Excuse me, I've been talking too long. And it's complete as well. With a big boy manual and a little Square Enix registration thing down here. I've heard the Crystal Chronicles games are good. I don't know how that one is, but I've heard at least the one on GameCube is really good. And then same goes with this one. Also for $11.97, I got Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility. Mostly got this one because I've never played a Harvest Moon game, nor have I ever owned one until now. So I was like, ooh, why not this be the first one I get? I don't know about the consensus of like what's the best Harvest Moon game, or like what's considered the best, because usually the best one that I hear about is not even a Harvest Moon game, it's Stardew Valley. But I'm sure this one will be good. And what else is good is that this game is complete and it has a nice, lovely hand-drawn art style to it, which is very nice for the eyes. And then my last Wii game that I got is you're gonna look at this price and you're gonna be like, Jason, did you really pay that much? well, let me tell you what the game is first. That game is Sin and Punishment Star Successor. This was probably one of my favorite finds on the entire trip. So you see the price and like, oh my god, Jason, $33. But here's the thing. So my cousin gave me a gift card to Bull Moose for $25, and this was the game I decided to use it on. So basically I paid, how much is that? If I'm doing my math right, that should be like $8 that I got this game for. So like I'd say that was a good deal if you ask me. And it's super complete as well. Like, it has all of the inserts, and this is a game I cannot wait to start playing. I've heard a lot of great things about this. And then the rest of my games from Bull Moose during the trip were all original Xbox games. The first one that I got is one that I got for $4.97, and that is Namco Museum on Xbox. You can never go wrong with Namco Museum, especially with one like this, where it's just like, you know, your standard vanilla one, but it has like some good games on it. It has Pac-Man Arrangement, Galaga Arrangement, Dig Dug Arrangement, Miss Pac-Man, Galaxian, and Pole Position 1 and 2. Like, you got a nice lineup here, and there's a few extra games in here, like Miss Pac-Man and what was the other one? And Pac-Mania. So good stuff all around, and for $5, that's a good deal. Like I said, you can never go wrong with Namco Museum, and you especially cannot go wrong with it when it's complete as well. Next one. These next two games I got for $7.97. The next one is the Mega Man Anniversary Collection, which is a little beat up. Like, there's a little like dings on the side, and even the sticker's like a little ripped. Like, especially up here, like it's a little. Can you see that? Yeah, like it's a little torn right there, but which is a shame, but I could deal with that. But yeah, it's like a collection of the first 8 games and 2 arcade games, I think, right? Well, I know it definitely were. It was like, one of them was like the Power Fighters, I think, and I forget the other one, but either way, it's complete, and, and it has Mega Man just like going pew pew, and then when we find that media, we'll find Dr. Wowie on the manual. I like how Wily is on the manual, but he's not anywhere else on the box. That's funny, because that's how you know we'll find Dr. Wowie. You want to know where he is? That's a good question. I love that Elmer Fudd voice. Mega Man 8's voice acting is so bad, I love it. Anyways, next game is 4x4 Evo 2, which was a launch title for the original Xbox. And I played it for a little bit. It's fun. It's a fun little like racing game. It's not one of the best I've ever played, but if I was like one day just bored and like I want to play a game, and this was like one of the ones I wanted to play, I wouldn't like question it. I'd be like, that's not bad, and it's complete too. Speaking of Capcom, and whatever I was talking about with 4x4 Evo, next is the Capcom Classics Collection, Volume 1. I wish I had Volume 2, because I know that one has some value to it, but I'm pretty sure this has some value too. Speaking of 2s, but yeah, this has like a lot of Capcom's like classic arcade games on it, and it's just it's just nice. It's a nice little thing, and I keep realizing the longer this haul video goes on that I got a bunch of stuff from Capcom, which is crazy. And it's complete, and I like that the disc looks like a token as well. Very nice touches all around, and I'm sure those games run well as well. Well, going on to the next game, I got for $8.97, and this is one I've been looking for a little bit as well, and that is Vex, which is one of the many platformers that came out, like 3D platformers that released after the wake of Super Mario 64 and the 3D platformer craze, and this game was among them. It's pretty fun so far. The combat, I don't mind the combat, and like this world is like very visually nice. especially for its time. It's complete as well with the registration card, and I haven't gotten far in it because I just wanted to like test it. But so far, from what I played, I like it. Last two original Xbox games, and for my Bull Moose game pile from my trip, is when I was talking about summer movies earlier, this is what I mean, because a movie in this series is releasing in a few weeks. This is gonna give it away. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. So this game is like a Tomb Raider style game. I didn't play it for long because I don't know what it was. Like, I'm not saying the game is bad by any means. It's just for whatever reason, like whenever I tried to turn the camera, I got like motion sick, and usually I don't get motion sick. So I want to go back and like give it a fair shot. Maybe I'll just try not to like move the camera as much. It is complete because I did like what I was playing, but I don't know what it's like. This and Tomb Raider Underworld, or like whenever I move the camera, just like I get motion sick. Oh, and another thing about the manual is, why does it not have the original Xbox header up top? That's a little weird. It has the registration card, and even like, I don't know if you can see. Let me focus the camera. Yeah, there we go. It even says Microsoft, but like for some reason it doesn't say Xbox on the top. I don't know why LucasArts did that, but that is strange. I think some other LucasArts Xbox games do that too, but isn't that weird? Alright, so let's see. My last game from the Bull Moose trip is another one of my favorite, is my other thing that I'm really happy I picked up, and that is the Warriors come out to play. I don't know how good of a impression that was, but $17.97 for this one, and this one goes for a little bit, but this one I'm like really happy to find, because this one, like, I know it has like a big cult following that follows it, anyway, but the Warriors, underrated Rockstar game that that I'm surprised has more value than I initially thought. It's a good game too. Like, I've never seen the movie, but I would imagine like this game takes a lot of like notes from the movie, like, or probably follows it to a T. So that was a really cool find as well, just like with Sin and Punishment. All right, so I'm gonna stop the video right here just so I can, just to make sure that my thing doesn't just abruptly stop on me, and then we're gonna do the remainder of the stuff from Bull Moose, from like my local Bull Moose, and then my miscellaneous pile. So give me just a minute. I'm gonna have some water, and then I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Just had a quick drink of water, and through the power of a seamless cut to this part of the video, we're now at the home stretch for this haul video. I just got 2 stacks left, and let's conclude this. So now with my stack from my local Bull Moose, is a mix of games and movies. I'm going to do the games first, since most of what I have left is movies. Yeah, because that's how that works. So first, from my local Bull Moose, I found this for $5 exact. Usually they don't have things out for $5 exact unless, according to the sticker, it's a quote cut out item. So this is the collector's edition steelbook for Halo 4. And this is really cool. I believe this is supposed to go with a box set for Halo 4, because I think that's what the what it originally came in. So I don't really have much to speak on that, but like, other than like I keep running into copies of Halo 4, but this might be the coolest one that I have, is like this steelbook. Like, it has the UNSC thing, and I just generally like how it looks. There's no inserts on the inside, but it does have both discs, so that's really cool. Yeah, right there you can see cutout item. And I believe that should be my last 360 game that I got, so that's nice. Hope there's no dents on you. Next one, for again the best price, $6.97. I got my only Wii U game in this entire haul video, and it is Super Mario 3D World. Now, I used to have this game. I had it in a red case, but I gave it to Aaron Fazbear because he recently bought a Wii U, and I didn't really, once I got this, I didn't really need the other one, and this one had a blue case, and it looked even nicer, so that was nice. And also Mario 3D World is a fantastic game, like every other 3D Mario game. But this one being more like focused on like variety of levels and different types of level design, I think is a really nice touch, and with multiple characters to play as well. And it's complete, mostly complete. I don't think it has it doesn't have the Nintendo Selects. Not Nintendo Selects, the Club Nintendo insert. But that's alright. It has the manual, so that's really all I could ever ask for. Next, I got 2 original Xbox games to add to my gigantic original Xbox collection, and I believe I briefly talked about Lord of the Rings earlier, and kind of interesting that I am talking about it now, just about its sister series, The Hobbit. The Hobbit, the official game based on the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien, the prelude to the Lord of the Rings. Free collectible The Hobbit trading card inside. There's so much stuff that's on the box, like the front cover. I'm like, geez, and I keep spitting on this desk. But yeah, I haven't really played this yet. Obviously, this is not connected to the Lord of the Rings movies and games, technically. But I think it's just such an interesting release. And there's Gollum, the star of, as of now, the latest gaming punching bag is the Lord of the Rings Gollum game, which I've heard sucks right now, so oh well. But he's looking precious right there. Like, doesn't he look like a sweet angel? And it's complete. It doesn't have a card in here or the registration card, but it does have the manual. And you know, I actually like the Hobbit movies, so I wonder how this. I mean, I probably doesn't relate much to the obviously the movie, since the Hobbit movies weren't a thing at the time. But I wonder how it like connects to the Lord of the Rings. That'll be interesting. And speaking of the Lord of the Rings, I just forgot I had this until looking at my stack. The Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King game. I used to have this on PS2, but I have this for my original Xbox collection. And I guess technically, this is one of the only games based on a movie that won the Academy Award for Best Picture. That and The Godfather, I would say. And Platoon on NES. So that's like kind of an elite group to be a part of. I've never actually played this game. I remember I remember seeing my brother play this game because he was like a big fan of the Lord of the Rings movies as a kid. And I am too. Like I'm a fan of the movies. But I never actually played it for myself. It is complete as well. And how I know it's official is that it has this sticker right there. It says official Lord of the Rings product. So that's cool. And Return of the King is of course an amazing movie. So I'm sure that maybe that game will actually do it justice. Because I played the Two Towers game, and that game's really good. So I'm sure the Return of the King one's good too. Next one is a Wii game, one that I've been looking for quite a while, and that is Red Steel 2. This one usually I think goes for a little more than $10, but seeing it for $10, I was like, give me that. I've heard I have the original Red Steel, but I've never played it. But I've always heard that it's not a very good game. But then I've heard like this one is actually a good game, so I'm like, what? Like, how did they turn themselves around? Like, that's insane. Mostly through the power of Wii Motion Plus, and less so that the game's complete. I guess it works completely better than the original in some kind of weird backwards way. That's how it works in my mind. But Red Steel 2, I've actually heard is a good game, so can't wait to try it out. And then last one for the games in my local Bull Moose pile is my only PlayStation 3 game, and my first PlayStation 3 game that I got, I believe, in a while. It's been a little bit since I got a PS3 game, but I got Time Crisis 4, which is also my first Time Crisis game. As you can see by the sticker, it doesn't have the gun con with it, which sucks, because I wish I had a gun con. for this, or even like the other Time Crisis games. But I think you can play this with a controller, but probably wouldn't work as well with a controller, obviously. But I have a I mean, I don't know if like a gun con would even work with the TV that I have, because my TV is not like a old like CRT TV. I have like a contemporary like 4K TV with Roku built in. So I mean, I could always give it a whirl and see if it does work with a controller. If it does, let me know, because I think you can play it with a controller, but I'm not entirely sure. But I just thought it was a cool pickup to get. Alright, now for the remainder of my movies from Bull Moose. So first one I got is $4.97. Again, really nice price. And it was on Blu-ray. And it's another movie that won the Best Picture Oscar. And that movie is Slumdog Millionaire. A movie that I have seen previously, but it's been a while since I saw it. So if I watch it again, it's likely going to be like a fresh experience again. But I remember really liking this movie. So basically, like, the plot of this film is it's about this guy who lives in this poor neighborhood in the slums of India, and he competes on the Indian version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He's on like the last few questions, and every time a question gets answered, it flashbacks to a point in his life to where he found out the answer to the question. So I found it's an interesting little movie. I quite liked it from what I remember, and it also has like there's a little bit of romance. Like, it's a good movie. It has some dark moments, but it's a good movie. And especially for like being this cheap, and for a movie that that I wanted to get because it won Best Picture, that like, sure, I'll get it. All right, next one, for the sweet $6.97 price that I keep talking about. Here's another one. That is Fargo. Fargo. I can't do the accent, but Fargo, absolute classic movie from the 90s. That got its own show. I haven't seen it yet, but I've always heard great things about this movie. Fargo's remastered on Blu-ray, you betcha. I mean, obviously I'm not from like Minnesota or something, so of course I can't do it, but I feel like this would be a movie I would like. And it was nominated for Best Picture in the 90s, so that's also why I have it. Next one, speaking of 90s movies and like major 90s movies, this is probably like the biggest 90s movie of them all. And that is the big boy Gigantosaurus movie, Titanic. $10.97 too. This is like the 4-disc set for Titanic. Like I think this is like the most recent release of it. I'm surprised this isn't on 4K yet, but regardless, let me actually talk about the movie for a little bit. Believe it or not, I've actually never seen Titanic, not all the way through at least. I've seen the ending. I think everyone at least knows about the ending, but I've never seen the movie all the way through because it's a long movie. How long is it? 194 minutes. That's 3 hours and 14 minutes. And I don't mind me some long movies, but it's like you have to prepare for some, and this one's among them. So one day I will get to watching Titanic, because it won Best Picture obviously in 1997, and you know it's always been like one of the like biggest movies ever. So I will watch it. And I do want to watch it too, that's the thing. Next one, also for $10.97, we're now going to get to my 4Ks. First one is a steelbook that I got for $10.97. That is the steelbook for Mission Impossible Fallout, the first Mission Impossible movie that I now own. I got this because I'm going to be preparing for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 that's releasing in a little over a month from now, and seeing this for like this price, I was like, ooh, give me, I want this. And I like this artwork too, like of the silhouette of Tom Cruise and him hanging from the helicopter, almost touching the L right there. It's really cool. And there's 3 discs in here in this little book about like all the stunts that Tom Cruise, like all the crazy stunts that Tom Cruise was doing. And I just think it was just like a cool package to like actually have all these on. Let me do this again, because for those of you who like ASMR, there you go. Oh yeah, the back looks nice too. Can't wait to watch this, and I can't wait to see Dead Reckoning part 1 and this movie too. Because the only Mission Impossible movie I have seen is Mission Impossible 3, but it's been so long that I don't remember it all too well. Alright, next 4K. 1197 this 4K is. As if I'm talking like Yoda. And that is John Wick Chapter 2. Now, why do I have John Wick 2 and not 1 or 3? I can't answer that for you. But this one, I think I have this because it has a slipcover, so that's a bonus. But it's also because I want to collect all the John Wick movies because as of now, the only John Wick movie I have seen is John Wick 4, believe it or not. And that movie to me like was awesome. As of now, it's my favorite movie of the year, but it's subject to change in the like next few months. But I'm sure all of the other ones are great because John Wick 4 was great. So like without these movies, like where would Keanu Reeves be? I don't know. Maybe we'll never know, because in this timeline, Keanu Reeves' career came back, so... Hey, that's a good thing in my books, and probably to everyone's books, really. Alright, next one. Another movie for 1197, but this one's like a really cool release. This is the 35th anniversary limited edition for E.T., the extraterrestrial, with a, like... lenticular cover of Elliot and E.T. going over the moon. You know, iconic shot. And this is just like such a cool release. Like it's a hard box. It has a few things in here. Like obviously here's the let me organize this a little better. Here's the movie on Blu-ray. Well, it has a Blu-ray in here on 4K. It has the classic John Williams soundtrack. The classic Oscar-winning soundtrack from John Williams. Of course I say that because I'm a nerd. And it has a book about like a lot of the key people who worked on E.T. and some like other cool things about it. Like these kind of books are always like fun to look through. Like, and yeah, it's just like because I've seen like other releases of E.T. and like just seeing this one for this cheap, because I've been looking for this one specifically for a little bit, and then I see it for $11.97. I'm like, I don't know if I'm just lucky or what. I mean, it's not an expensive release, but it's like it usually goes for a little more than $11.97. So it was like, yes, thank you. And I will watch E.T. That's another movie that I've never seen that I want to see, and especially because it's Steven Spielberg too. So I'm like, I need to see it. Alright, next one. Another MCU film, and this was $13.97, and that is Avengers Infinity War. I don't need to say anything about this movie. This movie's like one of like the biggest films like ever. Like, do I need to tell you anything about Infinity War? I will say this though. I like Infinity War more than Endgame. But Endgame's still a great film. And I guess also Infinity War is one of my favorites of the MCU as well. Like this movie is just excellent, and like on so many levels. Like, and because the like Thanos actually wins, I'm like everyone was like, oh my god. And that was just such a cool experience watching Infinity War in theaters. Alright, second to last one. You're gonna see this price and be like, oh, $31.97. But I used my Bull Moose points to get this one half off. And that movie is The Fabelmans, which was my favorite movie of 2022. This and Top Gun Maverick. I love this movie. And it's still sealed, by the way, because I've been holding off opening it for this haul video. This movie was just so good. Speaking of like Spielberg, like this was like one I was like looking forward to the entire year, and like it didn't disappoint. I wish it got more love at like the Oscars and such, but it's all right. I gave it some love. And also, I think this is the first time I'm using a knife in a while and like opening something. But here we go, using the power of the knife. or Nerf or whatever I called it. It's Nif or nothing. But yeah, this movie was just so good. Like it's basically Spielberg's love letter to himself and to basically to all of his movies. Like you can see little snippets of how he made it, of the little remnants of what would become his most famous movies, and like you see his family life and stuff. I loved this movie. Like it was just mwah. All right, I have it right here just so I can move that Movies Anywhere code. And there's the discs, basically the poster, or like the front artwork. Here we go. And then the standard Blu-ray disc, and then let me get this up. There's a Movies Anywhere code that is mine, and you're not getting it. There we go. Yeah, love this movie. This movie was so good. It's so good. It's so good. To me, it was so good. Last one for Bull Moose is another one that says cutout item, but this one was $25.97. It's another steelbook, and I really like this steelbook. This was one I've been looking for a while, and that is the steelbook for Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I love this steelbook. Like, just look at it. This is probably one of my favorite steelbooks that I own. Like, there's Vulture on the back with Spider-Man, and then like there's the front with Spider-Man and Iron Man. Like, it's just such a cool design. Like, there's a little like dent right here, which is really annoying, but that's like, and that's the only cosmetic damage. Like, that's pretty good to me. I'll take this cosmetic flaw than any other cosmetic flaws I've seen. I'm looking at you, DK oldies. But regardless, it has both discs in here. The reason I'm letting this was it ultraviolet code, I think, out, because ultraviolet's not a thing anymore. So yeah. So yeah, I got it because like I'd never seen this steelbook like in person. I'm like, I'm gonna get this, and I like Spider-Man. Like, he's my favorite superhero, and I'm not letting this escape my grasp. All right, so now for the last stack. This is my miscellaneous stack. So I got two Blu-rays from Best Buy. I'll go through these really quick because I don't have much to talk about with either one. This one I got from Best Buy for $3.99, and that is the original Tron. It was $4. I'm like getting a Blu-ray that cheap. I'm like, of course I'll take it. It doesn't even matter like what movie, sort of. I'll take it. And I don't even think you can use that code anymore. So try as you might, I don't think you can. But yeah, I've heard good things about this movie and like how cool the effects look. Like, it's just like a video game. So I'll watch it. I'll watch it eventually. Then my other Best Buy pickup is I got this 4-pack for, I think it was like $12. It is the 4-pack. It is Film 4 Favorites Sci-Fi Action. It includes I Am Legend, V for Vendetta, Blade, and Constantine. I mostly got this for V for Vendetta, even though I know V for Vendetta has a 4K release, which I'll probably get eventually. But yeah, it's kind of like an interesting lineup to have these four together. Even then, the only film I've seen of these is V for Vendetta. I've heard good things about I Am Legend and the original Blade. Don't know about Constantine, but you know, it doesn't hurt to have like some of these multi-pack movies every once in a while. All right, next one is my last steelbook. This is the steelbook. I got this from Walmart for I think $13. It's the collector's edition release of Dances with Wolves, the Shout Factory release. I don't know if you can see on the spine. Yeah, right there. This is the Shout Factory release for Dances with Wolves. Yet another movie that won Best Picture. But it's one that I haven't seen. I know someone in my family loves this movie, so that's a good sign. And what also attracted me to it is that it says limited edition steelbook packaging, only 10,000 manufactured, which I found that super interesting. And now I'm going to now watch as I instantly devalue this steelbook, but that's okay. I could always get another one because these aren't all that expensive. I didn't even cut that. Jeez, come on, Jason, you're better than this. All right, now I've cut it. It's because I'm trying to go thin and I don't want to scratch the steelbook. Can you blame me? Even though I probably could just get the this is because this is shrink wrap. I could like take this off with no problem. Okay, and then you gotta love that shrink wrap being taken off. Let's look at the back. That's nice and clean too. Oh, I didn't expect that to pop out. So there we go. There's all the discs. There's disc 1 with the theatrical cut. There's disc 2 with I'm assuming the extended cut. Yeah. And then disc 3 with the bonus features. To be honest, I wasn't expecting 3 discs, so that's cool to see. And it's cool to have like a release from Shout Factory. That's also really cool. I want to be careful with these because I've gotten steelbooks, like I've accidentally dented steelbooks before, and I usually try to be careful with those whenever I get them. All right, last few movies. Last one that is sealed. This was the winner of Best Picture this year, and that is the 4K of Everything Everywhere All at Once. With this is the Walmart exclusive slipcover with all the googly eyes. This movie was so good. I'm not on the train of calling it like a masterpiece like a lot of other people are, but I do see it as like a great movie with some great things about it, and just like it's just such a unique movie that like it's so hard to describe it really, that like it's just something you gotta like watch for yourself and like just experience it. Like it's just such a cool movie and just so interesting. All right, I wonder what's inside here. So I've like with was the Fablemans. I've been waiting for this haul video just so I can open this, and so you fellas can have some ASMR for you. All right, let me open this. Yeah, and I figured there'd be another code in here. And there's the discs, all nice and red, and there is your code. Try as you might, you are not getting that. So yeah, just for those who haven't seen this movie, go see it. It's just such a unique movie that I could see changing like how some movies are made now. All right, last few movies. Last movie is I saved like a big one for last. This one won Best Picture again in the 90s, 1983 to be exact. And that is Schindler's List, yet another Steven Spielberg film, and one that many consider one of the greatest movies of all time. This is one that, like, again, is long. It's, how long is it? 3 hours and 16 minutes. I think 15 minutes technically, but it's always been like an important one. But this is one that I'm like saving for one day to like, I'll be like, one day I am going to watch this movie because I know this movie is gonna like be inspiring and change my view on like a lot of things, like and just looking at like this slipcover, like because I got this on eBay for like $30 with the slipcover because it's like, you know, it's one of the most iconic shots and like for one of the most important movies ever. Like I wanted to treat it with such respect, so that's why I got it in such a way. And it does have all 3 discs in here, and it has like this little like pamphlet with some things about like the Holocaust, like this kind of like was the USC Shoah Foundation, and it has another code that you are not getting. But yeah, this is one I'm like looking forward to watching definitely, but it's one I'm preparing for one day that I will conquer watching this movie. All right, last thing. So these last things, one of them I got from GameStop. It's a game I'm currently streaming right now that I'm going to finish streaming. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just taking me a while. And that is the Resident Evil 4 remake. This right now is my game of the year of this year. I haven't played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom yet, nor have I finished this game. But from what I've played so far, this game is amazing. Like, only Capcom again was like being on fire with this video. Only they could like perfect like an already perfect game. It's like how do you do that, Capcom? It's like they have like technical wizards there, and like the fact that they were able to replicate a legendary title again just shows like a lot of like some of the people who work on Resident Evil at Capcom are like madmen. All right, and then my last few things. So this is gonna be my little segment where I talk about PAX. So I went to PAX East back in March. I did a post about it on Instagram. You can check it out on Instagram. But I had a blast there. Like I had so much fun. I'll even put some pictures on the screen for you. But I got like pictures with a lot of people cosplaying as different characters. I played lots of demos of games. And I went with Aaron Fazbear and my mom, who took some pictures for me. I just had a blast there. I called it Aruba for nerds, and I just had so much fun there. I got a few things, like I can't show it on camera, but I got 2 gigantic posters, one for the Zelda Breath of the Wild and the other for Pac-Man. And I also got this game from a vendor. And some other things from PAX. I got to play Donkey's game Animal Well. I played the demo of that. That was a cool experience. What else did I played this game Toxic Crusaders with some other like attendees and Aaron Fazbear. We played like 4-player co-op on Xbox controllers. That was really fun. Like, I had so much fun at PAX. I want to, maybe next year I'll like document myself. We'll see. But this was like because like I wanted to get at least one game from there, because I hadn't gotten a single game from PAX. I was like, it's a gaming convention, I need to get one game, and I splurged on this one game particularly, and that game is Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. I'm not necessarily proud of me splurging on a game like this, but I am happy that I have it regardless, because this game is like a game that's like impossible to find, at least for like even like trying to find it in like my local game stores. I can't really find it much at all, but I'm glad I finally have it, and it's just such a cool game. Like, it's basically like if Nintendo made it their own Resident Evil type game, but it's more about sanity, about like these like cool effects that like break the fourth wall. It's just, I really like this game. It's such a cool idea that I'm surprised hasn't been replicated again. And as a bonus, it's complete with all of the inserts as well. And with that is it. That is my entire big ass haul video for the almost summer. So yeah, that is it. So thank you all for watching this long video, and please comment, like, and subscribe. And next video is, I'm not sure what it's gonna be, to be honest. It could be a haul video, it could, well, not a haul video, an eShop exploration video, could be another stream of the Resident Evil 4 remake, it could be a Serious Sam 2 video. I don't really know, but whatever the case, I'm hoping for some more content. Maybe I'll do some content about movies. Let me know in the comments what you think about that, because I've thought of doing it for quite a while now. But yeah, I am like drenched in sweat. I have a pile of games and movies next to me. I have another set of stuff ready for the next haul video for one day, and I am going to go put this stuff on the shelves. And feel free to follow me on social media. Links will be in the description. And see you when we go somewhere and play bingo while we maybe binge some movies. That'll be fun. So shock the world and us, amiibros. Goodbye.